Welcome to Womenade. Wherever you are wonderful women helping other wonderful women here at Sojourner Truth House. Thank you for coming. You show that you care, that you're curious about what we do, and just welcome to the world of Sojourner Truth House. I'll be telling you a little bit about it in picture and video and through client stories as we progress. So first, let me tell you that Sojourner Truth House was founded in 1997 by the Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ. It was named Sojourner Truth House after Sojourner Truth, a freed slave who actually died in Battle Creek, Michigan. And she and Catherine Casper, who was the founder of the Poor Handmaids, were contemporaries. They lived about the same time, Catherine in Germany, Sojourner here in the United States. And though they didn't know each other at the time, both of them, I'm sure they're having some good conversations now, both of them are our inspiration for this place. So what have we evolved into doing? Basically, we have what I call 3 streams of service. Those 3 streams include the first, most labor-intensive stream is the homeless women and children who come here. We work with 4 shelters in the Gary area. We just took on 2 more this year. So that could be 30, 40, 50 women and children coming in every day. What we do is case management. Each family is assigned a case manager who works with that household to get them housed. That's the basic goal. And to get them involved in whatever kind of other providers they might need to help them be stably housed, which is the second goal, the stability of their housing. We also offer classes, and we tell them that if we're going to invest all this time and money and effort into you because you're important, then you need to invest in yourselves. So we expect them to be in class. So if they're parents, they must be in parenting class. If they are recovering, they must be in recovery class. Well, sometimes the women make it and sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's too structured for them and they leave. But most times they get into the flow of things and somehow find housing through all the different providers of housing in the area. And sometimes that's kind of a difficulty, since affordable housing is, shall we say, there isn't much of it. And so it's always a trick to find housing in some program for what they need. And so when they're ready to when they get their keys, we do a little key dance. We're all excited with them. And then we we have a whole pole barn filled with furniture, and we have all kinds of partnerships that enable that. And when they move in, we give them bedding and pots and pans and dishes and some furniture, so they have a way to get started and they can move on to whatever the next point in their lives might be. The second stream of service kind of grows out of that, and that is the TOPS clients. That's not the weight loss program, that's the transitional outreach program participants. They've gotten their housing through us. They're sort of settled, but now because they have an address, they can look for a job. So we'll help them with resume and employment skills and so on. Or perhaps they have disability of some type, so we're helping them get their disability or SSI. Or perhaps they haven't finished their high school. And so we will find a program where they can work on that, and one of our instructors, facilitators, also works with very basic skills with them, so that they can have a means to be stable beyond what we've done for them. And then there's the third stream of service, which probably produces the most numbers, but is the simplest in a sense. And that is our food pantry and clothes closet. Our community-based clients from anywhere in Gary can come once a month, every 30 days, for food and personals, and then once every 90 days for clothing. So we get between 1,500 and 2,000 people every month through that stream of service. We take clothing that we say, if you won't give it to your sister or your mother or your aunt, then please don't give it to us, because just because somebody happens to be living in poverty or happens to be homeless at the moment does not mean they should have to take junk. So we do the same thing with our furniture and everything else. We just don't take junk because, as the old saying goes, God don't make junk. So put all those three streams of service together, and we've averaged over the last 4 or 5 years over 2,000 people per month that we serve. And that's doing a little uptick because we've added a couple of shelters this year. So it covers all the needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It starts with the very basic needs of food and clothing and all those, and then it moves up the scale, helping them with their self-esteem, with skills, and on until in some way, shape, or form, whether it's with a job, whether it's with disability, whether it's with entrepreneurship and so on, they are able to really be on their own. You might be wondering how we support all this financially. That's a very good question, and it's a very big challenge. We get a lot of in-kind services. People donate furniture, donate bedding, people donate food, people donate personal hygiene items, so we don't have to buy all that. But we do have a budget, and we have to pay NIPSCO, we have to pay water and sewage, we have to pay my staff. We also have money to support the educational pieces and so on for our clients, for transportation, all those types of things. So how do we do that? Well, of course we write grants, but that usually ends up being 10 to 13% of our budget. So the last few years we've averaged a little over $100,000 each year in grants, and we're looking for new grants all the time. We do several appeals during the year, especially year-end appeal, in various formats. Some of you may have enjoyed getting those letters. We send out e-news just about every month, and then we send a couple of paper newsletters because we know all our constituents do not have email or do not use email. We have our annual walk. Next year will be our 20th walk, and that brings in sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, about $100,000. We have people who have committed to giving on a monthly basis. One woman even sends a little check of $5 a month, but that adds up, all those. And then we have a church that gives $2,500 a month. So there's a big span of donations on a monthly basis, but that's a little more steady income. We have third-party fundraisers. I'm going to be attending one this Friday evening where somebody's putting something on, and then we are the recipient of the proceeds from that. So those are just some of the ways that we are able to keep our budget going for this important work with the women and children that come through our doors. And then one of the best things that you could do is to come to a coffee and conversation. Coffee and conversation is once a month. It's either on a Tuesday morning or a Thursday afternoon for a couple hours, and we invite donors to come and see what they've invested in. We invite you, if you're curious about what we do and really want to see it in action. And so you come, I kind of say what I've said in this video. We go on a tour. You can ask questions. You can talk to our volunteer coordinator if you're interested in volunteering. All those type of things are available to you. There's nothing like seeing the place in action to really understand what the issues are that we are trying to address in these women's lives. Homelessness, poverty, sometimes drug addiction and mental illness, loss of jobs, poor transportation, poor schooling, whatever it might be, poor parenting, domestic violence. That's just to name a few issues. So help us to do that. Thank you.
My daughter came to live with me, and then she all of a sudden just started spending my money, and I wound up homeless again for the second time. She left me stranded in a motel room with everything on what I had on my back, because we lost the apartment that we had together, because she spent all the money on drinking and drugs. So I knew I could go to MOC, which was Mission Charities, and then they would send me to you guys. I know I would get the right guidance and help there, because the fact I knew that you guys did it before, so I knew that it was there. I had to do all the work, which I didn't mind, because I want to work for that goal. I wanted that apartment, I wanted the space, I wanted the solitude, but I also wanted you know, to have something that I look forward to be my own. So that's how, you know, that's how I felt. I wanted something that I could call my own. The way that they took time and care with you, the classes were great. I mean, the classes, you know, were always informative. They always had wonderful speakers come in and give us motivation. They give me my freedom back, where before I felt so tight in the chest that I was afraid to do anything. Now I've got that freedom. If it wasn't for Sojourner Truth House, I don't know where I would be right now. So I'm just lucky for Sister Peg and all the staff of Sojourner Truth House. God bless all of them.
I found out that if I attended Sojourner Truth House, or if I could get into a shelter, I would be able to go to Catholic charities. They would pay your rent. So when I came to Sojourner, my goal to get into Sojourner was deception, because I really wasn't trying to get any help. I was really trying to get the funds because of my drug use. I found out that I was broken, and I had been broken for a while. And after going to classes and even some therapy at Sojourner, I began to open up and talk about the pain and the hurt that really was inside of me, that really was the Band-Aid, that the drug use was the Band-Aid too. And as a child, I had been molested. I had incest. By the age of 23, I had been raped. And all this I was holding in because I never talked about it. But once I came into Sojourner Truth House, it was just totally different. I didn't no longer want to work the system, because I found out that people there really love you, that they care about you, that I think the most important thing to me about this is they seen more in me than I seen in myself. It was just really life-changing. When I say it changed my life, it changed my life.